5 or 6 years. So I'm cultivating that. So that was good. I'm still working with my cousin on listing his house. He's extremely busy guy and he's selling a business. There's a lot going on there, but I'm working on it. And one of the things I've been doing, and this is where I have a question, if I can throw it out there. When I'm doing a CMA and he lives in near a lake, and a lot of the comparisons I'm making are for, he's like 2 blocks off the lake, and there's a lot of houses similar on the lake.
Mm.
And I have this, this sheet. Well, you can't see it, but it's the O2 sheet, to make adjustments.
Auto,
Auto sheet, yeah. So there's nothing on there about a lakefront. So I've been using I went to the tax records and I looked at the value of the actual property, the land. And I'm finding all the lake property, just the value of the land, not the structure, what they tax is about $50,000 to $59,000 difference more on the lake.
What percentage? Turn that into a percentage.
What percent? Okay, we're
Is it
talking
5% more, 10% more, 15% more?
what's 59,000 of 750, whatever that is.
Hang on. 59,000. I think that's not going to be enough, but okay.
I don't know. I'm getting a 7.8, but I don't think that's right.
Yeah, it's not even 10%, it's 7%.
Okay.
That's what you're getting. Mary Beth, I think being on the lake is worth a lot more than 7% more than being a comparable product 2 blocks away.
yeah.
A lot more.
Like,
Yeah.
well, give me a number.
15,
15%?
maybe.
Okay.
Mary Beth, all things being equal.
All things being equal, 15%. So you're saying that if it was a 700 outside, it's going to be an 8 something inside? Is that what we're saying? An 800 inside? I mean, on the lake? Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
And-
about, and I like how she's talking about percentages, because if we were to talk about, let's say, a main road compared to inside the development, the main road, I've always been taught it's about $25,000, $30,000 that the same exact house would go for. So when I look at a lake, that's a lifestyle. That is a lifestyle. So, I mean, Patty, do you agree? Like, you almost can't, not that you can't put a number on it, you can guesstimate it, but you're going to have somebody that falls in love with that property for what it is.
Yep.
And they'll pay the price that, what is the asking is whatever. Let's just make a deal.
Buying a home is emotional. Buying a home on a lake where the lifestyle, like Mary Beth said, the kids can go and just swim right in front of the house. Parties, everybody, they're not walking to a beach or landing.
The peace and tranquility you get from looking at that water. I mean,
Look at the Boyds.
yeah. Like, put it this way, I live on the marina.
Oh, you
if
do?
I do, in Perth Amboy. So I get to see water every morning, it's right there. I live on the marina, and this townhouse, two streets behind me, which is obviously not water views, does have a back little glimpse of water view sometimes. There's about $100,000 difference.
Mhm.
And we're talking about like a 450 versus 350.
Mhm.
And that's just a 2-bedroom townhouse. So
All right. So 15% is
I would say that's a good number to
It's a
start with.
starting point, then reanalyze your comparables.
Yeah.
because actually my cousin's property is nicer than the stuff on the lake. But the stuff on the lake is priced really high, so I'm trying to work that in. Now, another question.
Dave, the reality is, if I'm looking for lakefront property, I'm looking for lakefront property. I'm not going to take 2 doors down. I want lakefront property.
Well, I'm doing the CMA, so I got to make an adjustment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
stuff that's on the lake. The next thing is, how would you handle appreciation in this market? Because things are going up, especially over the past 2 to 3 months.
Mhm.
And forget about 6 months ago. But would you say add 5% from like 6
So,
months?
Can we ask everybody, what are you guys saying? Patty, I just want to hear, what are they saying when somebody asks you about the houses appreciating?
I just look at what just sold and what recently we have like that went under contract, I mean, that sold, and we could see what the difference is in price. So if I could find something on the same block or around the corner, and I saw it went over 40,000 more than it did in January, then I say, listen, January they're paying 20,000, now they're paying 40,000. People are gonna be looking at that. So that's what I go by.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Who else?
So are
there was
you using a percentage? What number?
It depends on the neighbor, it depends on the block, it depends on what, what's sold. So I recently am doing like someone's buying a house on a block and there was another house just sold just like it and how much more they paid. And it got praised at that price. So it's pretty good chance that's the price of the house and that's what we're going up after. I mean, and you look in January, we're going for less. So the percent there, it's all over the place. You really gotta be as
Okay.
close to
You
possible.
gotta interpret the market, and it might
Yeah.
not be a percentage conversation. Scott Bray, were you gonna add what you would say?
Yeah, I think there was a James Shaw morning meeting where he was talking about pricing and about how you can't, it's almost like those 6 month to 1 year sale prices are stale already because of
Yeah.
this growing. So you really have to look at what's currently on the market and then also look at the list price to sale price in your area. And if you're seeing it's 105, 106, I mean, use that. So run your normal CMA and then, assume that it's going to be X% above. So you got to
Got
look at tomorrow's market.
Scott, I loved what you said about list price, sale price. It's hard to argue with statistics. Do you all know how to pull the list price, sale price ratios in NJMLS for different towns?
No,
No, how do you do that?
no.
Here comes Mary Beth. Do we love it?
Well, you can walk me through it because I'm not 100%. I'm in a
Oh,
million
I love it.
MLSs.
Please. You should, I rarely say never because I believe we live in the gray, but you should never present an offer or receive an offer without having done this. So go to stat. I hope this looks familiar to all of you. Go to stats and then down to stats. All the way down, keep going. Notice there was a whole bunch of other really good stuff there. Okay, so MLS stats, leave that. And the office, okay, beginning date, you can, or time frame. We don't want to click down time frame. You want to do 3 months, you want to do 6 months. 3 months might not be a big enough sample because we haven't had enough closings, so let's do 6 months. You want to do residential, county 2. Area, let's pick a specific town. Somebody want to name a town? You want to do Ridgewood?
How about Little Ferry?
Yeah, how about it? Let's do it. Okay, click OK. And status would be solds. And then just click execute. Now, this is so valuable. So valuable. Okay, in Little Ferry, during that 6-month period, there have been a total of 37 houses sold. 35 were 2 different brokers and 2 were like in the same office or the same person. What's the difference between average and median?
Live question, guys. What's the difference between the average price versus the median price?
Oh,
Median price is the middle of the road. Just
Yep.
take whoever there are and take the middle ones,
Yeah.
And the
And
average,
this-
just, average them out and divide by the number.
No, with the median, you don't divide. Here we've got 37 houses. So if you had them in a list, what did number 19 house sell for?
Right.
That's the median. Average is where you divide the total volume, sales volume, by the number of sales. That's your average. The
Mhm.
problem with an average, if you've got a really low one or a really high one, it can throw it off.
Yeah, and Patty, to that point today, I was in the Tenafly office meeting. And one of the things that I was talking about was Tenafly or Fairlawn. One of the markets had such an increase in average price point. Average price point, it was Fairlawn. Average price point was like over $1 million. but the median price point in Fairlawn is about high fives, low sixes.
Yeah, big difference. Oh, my God.
So if I was talking to a homeowner going, yeah, the average price is $1 million and they're in the median home, which is a $600,000 house, they're going, yeah, girl, but you're not talking to me. That's another market.
Yeah.
So be careful, guys. Is it
Yeah.
average or is it the median that really speaks to your client's product?
And what's interesting, 465, 465. Okay, then your sale price to the original list price. Mary Beth, if you just hover, yep, there you go. That's the final list price, and the one to the left is the original. All right, this is dynamite. And then your average days on the market, which doesn't look real to me. I don't know whether they average days on the
know.
market. That looks way too long. I don't know whether they're counting closing. But that's certainly not what's happening in our market.
I do want to go back and look at what that is because that was something that also in my research seemed very high. Most of the markets were at 50, 60 days on market. And I'm like, we're experiencing like what Michelle just said, April 1st to April 5th done. So I think that the MLS, it maybe is counting the entire time on the market, which I didn't think that's what they counted, but
I
we'll
didn't, I
dive
thought
into
it
that.
went till it was out of attorney review, till it was no longer active. But can you see here, other than the two houses that sold totally in-house, which went for 97.9%, the others are over asking. This is dynamite. If you're sitting down, this should be part of your buyer consult.
Mhm.
Because if they think they're going to go in and get a bargain in today's market, it ain't going to happen. And then when you're negotiating and you have a listing agent saying, oh my gosh, that's a 95% offer. Are you kidding? And you say, you know what? We're only, or let's make it higher, 97% offer. We're only 6 percentage points apart. Let's work together to make it happen.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, to that point, when we're in a different market and you're bringing your offer in, we're never going to go, let's say it's a $500,000 house and you're bringing in a 450 offer. Ouch, right? That sounds like ouch. It's 10% off.
It's not
But
awful.
But let's flip it, right? Hey, Patty, I have an awesome offer for you. These people are coming in with a strong deposit. They want to close whenever your seller wants to close, and they're offering 90% of what your seller is asking.
I love it.
It's
Great.
450. Great.
Excellent.
Now, what I would say to Patty is when Patty goes, what? Are you out of your minds? It's 450.
Yes.
I say, Patty, it's 90%. I mean, think about it. If we were to get 90% in our spouse, what we were looking for, we'd be high-fiving all day, right? So let's just get happy with ourselves. Let's get that 90 to, and then to Patty's point is, you know what the stat says. So if we know that it's 95% of asking is what they're typically getting, I say, Patty, we just got to get 5%. We just got to meet somewhere in the middle. Let's do it. Let's toss the ball.
Yep. And don't even think about giving up your commission. You call Mary Beth or your broker or me, but do not make that your solution of choice.
No. All right, I think we still need like maybe 2 more tell me something goods before.
Well, I have another question. So when I'm doing this CMA, well, I'm going to jump right in. When I'm doing the CMA, I'm also looking at what the percentage, commission is. And I'm noticing a lot of 5% and even some 4%, but I'm noticing it very, very frequently. And these are higher, these are like 600,000 up to $800,000 properties.
Okay, time out for 1 second.
Mhm.
Don't assume. You know what assume is, right?
Yep.
Okay. So when we assume, we're always baffled, right? There's a guy at a closing table yesterday and he texts me, is it okay that the listing agent made more money than me? I said, oh, tell me what the numbers are. So we start going back and forth in text. They did take a 5% listing. They just took 3% to the listing side and offered out only 2% to the buyer side. So when our agent went to the table, well, he didn't get to the table yet. He was studying the closing documents. You will all receive, your buyers will receive closing documents 3 days before you can close. At that point, because he said, where would have I seen this before? I'm feeling taken advantage. I'm feeling a little like, why did you take 3 and I got 2? And I said, you would not have seen that unless you got to those closing docs. And
Mhm.
right in those closing docs, it will say Keller Williams and the other company and what they're supposed to get. So, and not always does it even put there. Some attorneys have chosen to take those commissions off of the closing docs that
Really?
get shared out. Yeah, I could not find them on two. And they said, oh,
Wow.
we don't have to disclose that to you. It will be disclosed at closing. Okay.
Wow. But
So Dave, don't assume it's number one.
Well,
Yeah.
but I mean, but I'm seeing a lot of 2 and 2 on both sides and then 2.5, 2.5. I'm really
Well,
not
you wa-
seeing more than that.
yeah, you won't see both sides, like Mary Beth just said. You're only going to see what's being offered to cooperating broker. That's you. So I know that what you're saying is it could affect by 1%. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You know, somebody asked me just a few minutes ago, we were talking about value of an agent, right? So the reality is if you see you're going up against somebody who's offering out 2% out or 1.5% out, or their value in that client is that they've cut their commission, you have to go back into the conversation of like, you know, Dave, you could appreciate that you pay what you get for, you know, you get what you pay
Get
for.
what you pay for.
Right? You could appreciate that saying, right? I mean, you get what you pay for. And when we're talking about your biggest asset, something that 1% on a property negotiated properly could turn into 5 or 10% more than an offer. If that agent is so willing to give away their money, what are they going to do when the offer comes in and it's your money?
Oh, I hear echoes of bold.
Anna.
I love it. And this is an advertisement. Guys, when bold comes around, I want you to sign up because these are the powerful scripts that you'll learn with bold.
Yeah. So we'll get back to that a little bit, Dave. Kara, give us that one more good, and Stella, give me one more good, and then we can go on to a little bit of learning. Kira?
So I got 2 new buyers this week, and I also did my first referral out. So that was cool.
Awesome. And I want to say, Kara didn't only just do her first referral out, she is from Queens. So she purposefully connected with agents in Queens, connected with her database, and she's making a bridge to where she'll be able to, this one was in Westchester, where her sphere is, she's going to connect with agents so that she could be ready to refer out.
Excellent. That's excellent. Talk about
And-
getting
One of
ahead
my
of
buyers
things.
was a referral. One of my new buyers was a referral from Queens too. So
Yep.
cool.
And as far as open house opportunities, Kara did go out to Hugo's open house. And she said there was about 40 or so groups of people through. And from that, she was able to secure 4 good buyer leads.
I can't wait till we get more open house opportunities.
Me
Yeah.
too. I can't
Oh my
wait.
God.
Yeah.
Stella, what do you have?
So last week I finally did I did a plan for everybody in my database. So about 350 folks. I sent the email, and then 3 days later, a text message went out. And I think I was doing a training. So I was going through each one, just clicking it. I did it. And it was Good Friday. I got so many text messages. I'm like, I completely forgot about it. Like, what is this? What are all these people texting me? And I'm like, oh, that. So it was a really nice surprise that, you know, that I just did it a few days before. And then I got a lot of responses. Yes, we'll keep you in mind, because I think the text message went out. Do you know of anyone buying, selling, or sharing? So
Golden email.
yeah, that
So
was that was one. But today I was taking the fair housing just for the CE credits. And of course, while I was there, I was moseying through the NAR website. And there's a fabulous thing on the NAR website for monthly housing market statistics. I have it up. I don't know if I could share my screen real quick.
I will go ahead and give you co-host so you can share.
Okay.
This is it's great. Sharing our resources, guys. We have to share our resources.
Mm.
Some of you are really good about sharing them in the Coaching Lobby Facebook group. Some of you don't know that you can do that. Please go do that. If you have something you want to share, go ahead and put it out there. It's a collaborative group.
So here's the NAR, right? And you have to sign in, because if you don't sign in, you're not going to see anything. Go to research and then go to the monthly housing market statistics. And then, because I was playing around with it while I was training.
Yes, I love this stuff.
And then you go to Bergen County. Look at this is so, I was so excited when I saw this. So you go to Bergen County and all right, let's look at most recent. Let's view the report.
This is great. I love this.
Yeah, I love these.
So this
reports.
is the New Jersey site, right?
Yes,
NJAR. Okay.
yes. And then if I go back,
It is NJAR, but I think she did get to it from, you got to it from NARF, right? Is that where you?
Right. Well, yeah, I did sign on to Greater Bergen County, and then there's a link on the bottom to go to NAR. But now if you zoom in on Bergen County, wait, there was one where I could get into the towns, which was so exciting. Wait, where do I see that?
You might want to back out. Or click on a
back out.
county. Hey, click on a county.
There's
No, it's the state, the county.
Bergen, but it gives me this.
It just gives you
There was
Bergen.
one- If you guys go in here and play with this, there was one where you could get like, I could get Wyckoff, I could get Ridgewood, and then you see the differences, like the median sales price. Like for Wyckoff, it was like 64% higher than what it was last year. So it was like great statistics to look at, and I just liked the presentation. It was clean and neat and was very presentable. So, and I
Thank
forgot
you.
how you get to the towns, but there is a way to get to the towns, and right now I don't know how to do it, but there
That's
is a
okay.
way where you could go down to the towns like Little Ferry. Roddy wanted to know about Little Ferry, so
Yeah.
Think of
Perfect.
ways that you can use this.
Yep.
yeah. So, I mean, it's like really great stuff. So that's all I just wanted to share with the group.
And Stella,
Thank
you
you.
say that in a PDF?
It all comes down in a PDF.
Yeah. So what I would, I'll find that link for you. What you will need in order to get on here is your NERDS number, I believe, correct?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You do
So
have your NERDS number. So how do I stop sharing now?
there's a
Okay,
button,
stop
it will
sharing.
say,
Okay.
start. Yeah, there you go. So you need your NERDS number, your NRDS number, in order to set up your log on to Najar. So I know that there is, I'll post that out also, the way that you find your NERDS number. And then you could set up yourself an account, and then you will, growing up without all of the fancy tools, without, that has always been there. So I encourage you to use it. It's always accurate, and it's coming from all the MLSs. It's not specific to New Jersey MLS. So if there's data that's getting put into like Garden State MLS, it's culminating all of that data.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So thank you for the tell me something good. What I wanted to share with you is a really great, where is it? Right here. 50 strategic ways to get listings. Because now here we are, and we need to get some listings. Well, let's just, I don't like that one. Let's go here. Sorry, I have a million things open. Claire says I give her anxiety when she sees all my tabs. Okay, so strategic ways to get listings. There's 50 strategic ways to get listings. Let's just go through some of these. Expireds, new and old. 1 year or older. Guys, I'm going to tell you, expireds, we need to go backwards into it. Go into 2017, 2018, 2019. I mean, nothing, Patty, am I wrong? Anything that was listed in 2020, if it didn't sell, there was something wrong with it. I mean,
But maybe the market has increased enough that their list price, their dream price has been met by the market. I don't know, it's worth investigating.
yeah, no, absolutely. I just, when we tell you guys to go back into old expireds, yes, they're in the last year, but we're not going to see a lot of them in the last year because, to Patty's point, the market has like met them and brought them into the market rather than leaving them outside the market.
Mhm.
So some of them have had success. When you look backwards, and I've been doing this with one of our coaching clients and another one of our agents, you will notice that there are tons of expireds in those previous years that maybe never thought that they had a chance. They rerouted their decision making, they decided they were going to stay, and now you're going to go in and call. How would we scrub old expireds? Well, I mean, I could give you a list of everybody and everybody, but I personally think it's your duty to go in there, go into your MLS, look up expireds from a year in a town that you like or you're farming, and then start doing the cross-reference. See who got relisted, who hasn't relisted. Start making yourself a short list. Maybe it's only 20 houses. 50 is a great number to start with if you could get 50 expireds. But some of you are going to be like, there's not that many expireds. When I pull 1/4 of 2018, I found 2,000 expireds in Bergen County. So I don't even know where these houses are. And some may have been relisted and sold. And some may have been relisted and didn't sell again. But you're going to have to go back and forth on the MLS to do the scrubbing. But there's gold in those old expireds.
Mhm.
Somebody did the work for you. They listed them and they just didn't get it to the closing table. So that is absolutely a hot list. Number one, old expireds. This is the center of influence, staying in touch. And, it's interesting that Jeff Quinton would put that up there. He is a huge cold caller. However, he sees value in the database. So if you've already talked to people, you've already serviced them in some way, what else could you be reaching out to them about to get them in your path when they need real estate? What else? Guys, take a look at this list and tell me what is something that you could see as an opportunity for yourself.
Well, definitely postcards, I guess, if you're focusing on an area,
Okay, postcards.
and social
Post-
media.
Postcards and social media, consistency would be the name of the game there. Go back up to this one. Owners who purchased 2004 to 2006. Owners who purchased 19 to 20. Some people purchased and they just got into a house and to this point flipped for profit. Maybe they can flip it and they can actually make a profit. They can go somewhere else and go to their dream house or whatever. 2004 to 2006, those people were the people that bought in the height.
Ouch.
We're back there, like we're
Yeah,
back
we
there,
are.
right?
And beyond, they probably have equity at this point.
Well, and when we take a look there, we go right to right here.
Yep.
They probably have equity, if they bought in 04 to 06, let's just say it's 222. Well, we're up here at 297 because it's 15 years later. So natural appreciation happens. Even though my father used to always say, I should have sold it. And I would say, Dad, because he died in 11 anyway. But I said, Dad, you bought it in 1989. You didn't lose or gain. You still gained since 1989. So perspective is everything.
Absolutely.
Perspective is everything. And so that 04 to 06 are people that bought at the height. And when it dipped hard, they thought they were never going to see their price again. Well, guess what? They're going to see their price again. Now might be the time that they get out. Postcards, social media, referrals from agents. That's what Kira said. Have a hit list. Do you guys have a group of agents that make sense for you to stay in touch with? For Kira, being from Queens, having family in Westchester, those two markets, she should get to know some agents. So she wrote some letters out to agents. She prospected the agents. Karen Kleiman is an agent inside of our Tenafly office. 80% of her business comes from other agents. She has done a fantastic job at networking at those events,
She is
right?
amazing. Everybody knows Karen. And everybody loves her.
Everybody
Can't help
knows
it.
Karen's voice. Okay, Karen will be yelling at you down the hall. And she'll just make sure that you're the Jersey, she's the Jersey connection. So referrals from other agents, referral from top agents. expired listing reciprocate. I'll even tell you, for some top agents that haven't quite developed their team yet, they're losing leads. Okay, they're losing leads. Think about some single agents that we know that do not have an assistant, that do not have a solid buyer's agent, that are holding 2 or 3 listings right now. I bet you that, and I'm not saying 12 listings, 2 or 3 listings. They're dropping leads. I know because I talked to 2 of them yesterday. Get in touch
What
with
do
those agents.
What do you mean they're dropping?
Roddy, they're dropping leads is that they just can't get back to the leads.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They got emails coming in, they got phone calls, and if that buyer doesn't seem like they're gonna buy now, it was a waste of a call.
Got it.
I know it sounds crazy. You will
No,
have
no, I
more.
mean, I have an agent that does forward me buyer leads. So,
Good. So that agent is probably, and you've made an arrangement that there's some sort of referral for them, correct?
Absolutely,
In
absolutely.
writing? Great. Thank you for being a star student. All right, to continue on this, like open houses, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Open houses for neighbors only. And I want to stop there for a second, is that was a huge part of my business. Huge. In that you have a product, even if it's not your listing, you have a product that everybody in the neighborhood is nosy to know, like, are they going to really get their price? Oh, I wonder what the Jalals did in their kitchen. I wonder if I
Right.
should do that in my kitchen. Will I get the price? Like, I mean, this is stuff that's going on in my mom's head for 5 years before she put the house on the market. Which then she tells me she signed a listing agreement one day. I said, what? It was a friend of mine who convinced her, and I did not appreciate that, but he was aggressive and he secured the listing with me on the referral, which I was about to give him. But anyway, my point in that is my mother was talking about it for 5 years. Had somebody stepped into her house and convinced her, she probably would have put it on 5 years ago.
Mhm.
So when you have an open house, the old mindset that I grew up with actually in the beginning of my career was, oh, you don't want the nosy neighbors. Those people are just nosy neighbors.
That's right. No such thing.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I am not going to get up off my couch or come out of my house if I don't have an interest to know. If I'm nosy, well, then I probably talk to everybody else. If that's who I really am, then you want the nosy neighbor in that house because you want them talking all about how amazing you are. But if I'm not really interested in ever selling my house, I'm not going to really go. I'm not going to open houses on the street on a Sunday. I don't have time for that. So if somebody's showing up at your open house, there's got to be some interest about the market. On page 71 inside the shift book, there is the 7th level open house.
Mhm.
So when that shift book came out, I took it very seriously and I thought, oh, that's a great idea. This actually hones in on my natural skills that I have this one product here. Now I can tell everybody about it. I could door knock it. I could call it. I could mail it. I could email it. I could go door knock it the day of. I could put my buyer's agent at the house and I could go actually knock on their doors to remind them, hey, I'm going to be over there.
Mhm. Social
then-
media, sign writer.
Yeah, well, now there's that. I didn't even have that back then.
No,
Social
me
media and
too.
sign writer. Yeah. But what the message was, hi, your neighbor has retained me to sell their home. I will be there from 12 to 1 on Sunday for a VIP neighbors only exclusive invite. 12 to 1. And then from 1 to 3 is going to be the public open house. So 12 to 1, please bring this invitation. And I would actually walk the neighborhood and put an invitation in their mailbox. And it would have their tax record label. I'd put it on the back. I'd print out Avery 5160 labels and put on the back, and I'd ask them to bring it with them. So then I would just know who they were. It was just another step. I'm getting them to work for me. Now, what's the purpose? They're coming in. I have coffee. I have cannolis. I have whatever a little bit nicer than the regular open house because these are the homeowners. This is the audience. They see my sign every day. Now, if you're doing an open house for somebody, who cares? You treat it like it's your own. You go tell those homeowners, hey, come check out the open house. Help me find your new neighbor. I know you got to have a niece or a friend. That's how Hugo got his. So he didn't have a listing. He just went knocking around somebody else's listing because he had the open house opportunity. And then what happens when those people come into your open house? You're not going to talk about, you're not selling the house necessarily, because what are they coming for? They want to know what the market is doing. They want to know what price this is. Well, so you have all you have the CMA with you. You have, how did I come to this price? What is our strategy? Here's what we're doing. Because guess what? It's like a big listing appointment. All of those homeowners are looking at you like, would I choose Roddy? Would I choose Kira? Do I like the way they're presenting this seller? And you'll be amazing. You'll be awesome, all of you. And then you'll have the follow-up. So my most successful open house that way, I had 16 homeowners in a kitchen, scooting themselves out like, oh, we got to get out. We got to get out for the public open house. And I was like, man, that was the fastest 16 seller appointment I ever had.
Yeah.
2 listings came out of that. Not in that year, but 2 listings, 2 $650,000, $700,000 listings came out of that.
An hour well spent.
I'd say so. And a bunch of emails. I mean, beyond that, then they were in my world. And guess what I did, guys? And this was for a conversation I had today of what do you do as a follow-up with these buyers from open houses, or even these sellers from open houses? Put them on a drip for that neighborhood. If it's a seller that were to come to me at that open house, I would set them up on a search just as if they were looking for that house, so that they could see what's going on in that neighborhood, what's going on in that price point. I would go right into my command. I'd enter them into command and I'd set them up on a saved search. So they're always pointed back to Mary Beth, your realtor. Now,
And,
some of you would be like, but they're not going to buy anything. Like, why are you going to put them on that? I want them to be educated with their market. That's it. Patty?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Stella did smart plans, and we did have a question, which smart plan did you use that got those responses? Just wondering whether it would be appropriate in this instance.
I was just looking it up and I was just going to type it in. It's called A Favor Can You Help?
Yes. A favor, can you help? Smart plan.
Okay, a little off topic. You used someone else. Oh, yes, I heard that one got a lot.
Is
Yes,
that
I
in-
did.
Is that in the library?
Yes.
Yep.
It's the subject, the title of the smart plan, just put favor.
Yeah, a little off topic, but I wanted to make sure.
No, absolutely. Thank you. Great.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
sharing resources. So another one on that list was absentee owners. Finding absentee owners. Now, I believe, somebody tell me I'm wrong, Remine allows you to search for absentee owners. Why have I not been hearing that anybody is working a absentee owner plan?
Are you still sharing your screen?
I'm not, but I can.
Okay,
What would you like me to go to?
this list. That list. Perfect.
Yeesh. Bankruptcy attorneys, divorce attorneys.
Yeah.
If you don't think this pandemic has pushed some people to the other side, right? You need to, and this is still servicing people's needs. People are either going to buy a house because they got married, there's birth, there's death, there's divorce. There are life events that are happening,
Yep.
and we need to be empathetic in it, but we also need to make sure that we collect on that opportunity business-wise, but also in servicing the client.
Yeah, they
Somebody
need
else
us.
could, yeah, somebody else could service that client without really caring.
What is Acme receipts?
Acme receipts. I have no idea what Acme
I
receipts are.
think there was a time where realtors could buy an ad on the grocery store
Oh,
receipt.
yes, there is an Acme in Wildwood. Yes.
Yeah. So whether it's ShopRite, Whole Foods, I don't know whether they let you do that anymore. I haven't seen one recently.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I did not remember that. We
A
do
lot of
see
markets emailed receipts now, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I go to Rite Aid, I always get receipts, and ShopRite, I get receipts, but I do remember Acme having on the back the color ads. The vendors. Some of us are really good giving business to people. You got a nail lady, you got a hair lady. You got a tailor, you got a dry cleaner. You love your bank teller. Well, these people too, these vendors, we're constantly feeding them. Let's ask them for business. Can we count on them? Michelle?
You're muted. There you go.
Okay, hi, I just wanted to share about short sales. I contacted one of our preferred attorneys, Keller Williams, regarding short sales because another associate in Keller Williams has a new agent coming in, and she said, I really want to help the people that are losing their home before they get totally locked out.
It's great.
So I spoke with, should I share the name of the attorney I spoke with?
Absolutely.
Felix Nahiman. And he just recently had a seminar, so I called him like right after that.
Mhm.
And I said, so the dialogue would be, hi, so-and-so, I'm very sorry to hear that you're losing your home. I have an attorney that can help you, and they'll contact your bank for you, and they'll get approved their fee and the fee for us to list. Would you like us to help you list your house? I don't want anything to happen that you get so far gone that you get locked out. That's basically
Sure.
the script. And I spoke to Felix Nahiman about this. I know I'm saying his name wrong, and I apologize. But he said, yeah, he does that type of work. And this is another, this is something that I wanted to do. I had to work on finishing the contract last week, but I really want to approach these people because it is sad if they do lose their homes. And we have an attorney that can handle it.
Absolutely. Michelle's bringing up a whole nother market that should probably find itself resurfacing soon. Patty, you never saw a short sale before? Oh, 8, 9, 10, right?
No, didn't know what they were. A
Okay,
short
okay.
sale? Yeah, yeah. Didn't until maybe 5, 7 years ago.
Yeah. So understand that a short sale, guys, when people have defaulted on their loans, and we are seeing that with some of the forbearance loans that people were taking, they thought they were getting a break. They didn't realize they'd have to pay it all up in one lump sum. Some of them have refied, or they've modded the loan so that they can pay. They've increased their monthly payment. But some people have been hit with the bill where now they can't pay, or some households have never recovered. Maybe the unemployment is what they have, but that's not enough to get them to pay for the bills that they had. So we are going to see some people that are going to need to get out of their houses, unfortunately, because they can't afford to stay in them.
Yep.
Now, if they've gone into default and they haven't paid their mortgage for 3 months or more, and each bank is different, then the bank could start the foreclosure process.
Yep.
If the
Yep.
bank starts the foreclosure process, then we have a small window to help those sellers and be a third party on their behalf and that's where the attorney steps in. He'll be the third party that would speak to the bank for them to prove to the bank that they cannot afford the house. They have to financially prove the hardship. When they prove that here's the income and here's the outs, you see it, I'm not going to be able to afford this. And then on top of it, they have to miss 3 payments. So we do have some people, even in my own life, that they will scrape every nickel to get that payment made.
Mm-hmm.
And they still really can't afford the house. But what you'll have to do is you'll have to go into default, which will hurt the credit. But most people in this situation are already hurting their credit. They already have a lot of bills that they're not paying. So the credit conversation is whatever. Here's what I'm going to help you though. I'm going to help you step away from your house without owing anything to the bank. And even if you did have to owe something, because it's a short sale, what we're selling it for is short of what we owe to the bank, then the bank waives it and says there's no deficiency judgment. Mr. Seller, you can go about your way. You don't owe us anything. You don't own the house anymore. And you're probably not going to be able to buy a house for about 3 years, 3 to 7 years, depending. But you didn't lose your house. You didn't have a deficiency on your back. And we could do this all in the open market. It's not like you have to leave in the middle of the night. We could actually accommodate your closing, and we can get you on your way. And there's even a time where they will give the seller some closing costs, where you can negotiate that the seller has no money to even move to the next place.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they'll give them relocation funds.
Yeah.
You also have some really kind people who buy short sales that let people stay in the house for another month and then let her stuff stay in for another month.
You do that?
I had to. I wanted it so bad. It's on the marina, remember?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, got it. I thought, though, it was my understanding that the difference, the deficiency, if the bank waives it and says, okay, we're gonna not hold you for this 50,000, but that would count then as income and they'd get taxed on it.
Oh, that is an Arcady question. There he
Okay,
is,
okay.
Arcady. Yeah, that is an accountant question for sure, because I did hear that. And I don't know what kind of letter that they would need to not get taxed. Arcady, I saw you unmuted. Have you ever had some,
If it's a primary residence, you could get out of it.
if it's the primary residence, you can get out of it.
It's a primary.
Yeah, I'm having trouble.
Yeah,
You can get out of it. You pretty much have to consider it to be your income.
okay. I think we got the gist of that. Thank you, Arcady. Arcady is an accountant, guys. If you ever have any questions on that, or if you ever have any needs. Kira, what do you have for us?
So kind of related, my client was interested in a house that was up for auction, but was owner occupied. What is going on there? Like they wouldn't let people in. Is that a foreclosure? What is that?
It's owner
tax sale?
occupied, you said?
Is that a tax sale?
Might be.
It just said auction. You could go like look at the auction information. It said that the owner.
Did you
wasn't
find it
letting
on
showing
what website did you find it on?
on the MLS.
You did.
Yeah.
Usually a sheriff's sale doesn't make it to the MLS.
No. However, there are some auction sites that people choose to put their house in auction style. That so guys, but what happened with the auction style though was we're gonna drive this price, right? So you're gonna take a property and you're gonna market 200,000, 3 million, 700,000, 1.4 million. You're going to play with that price all over the market so that you get the most amount of exposure. And then what you do is you drive all traffic to one day of showings. So now you cause the frenzy that you're seeing that's naturally happening in the market where people feel urgency. Now, I just don't know that that's happening anymore as a strategy. So if you saw something that was on auction, I would be concerned of how the transfer of ownership would be for that property. If homeowners are still in it, what bank is handling it, and what the process, I would talk to that real estate agent that was on the MLS to find out more information.
Okay.
Yeah. Now there's a site called Hubzu. Was it on Hubzu? Okay. Hubzu is one site, plus you got your HUD.gov. You have HUD Homes that you also have the ability to put offers on because we are a NAID broker. That's a whole nother
It was on
conversation.
the MLS, and then you could go to auctions.com, and the auction is happening on the 14th.
Mhm.
So,
I love the initiative. Good for you.
Yeah. All right. So as far as the one other one that I wanted to mention is landlords. So in North Jersey, the tenants pay the rent, the commission. Okay. So in other parts, like in Middlesex, it's half and half. In Monmouth, it's on the homeowner.
Mhm.
In Bergen County, because the proximity of the city, because of the rental market that is there, the homeowners don't really need a realtor, right? That's how they feel. We don't really need a realtor. The tenant's going to come to us, and the tenant doesn't want to pay a realtor fee anyway, so we just cut you out. But the reality is, I also don't cost you anything, Mr. Landlord. I don't cost you anything to take your property and go list it. So every single one of you have the ability to go after a landlord in this week and go get yourself a rental listing. Now, why would you want a rental listing? Well, who owns rental listings? Investors. Investors that want to buy more rental properties, or maybe cash in their rental properties to buy a bigger product. Maybe they're tired of the multifamilies and they want to buy a commercial complex. Well, maybe they want to sell 4 rental properties to do a 1031 exchange to go buy a big commercial building. Those are the kind of things that open up when you find yourself building a rental portfolio or a landlord portfolio. So I don't want us to go, oh yeah, rentals. No, I'm not doing rentals. That's fine. I just want you to open your eyes to the opportunities there, right?
But also,
Okay, where
if you
would
do an
they-
open house, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Also, if you do an open house for rental, you've got potential buyers. Some
Oh,
that
yeah.
may not realize.
I love that you're saying that, because if you go take the listing for the rental, Roddy, this week, and then you say, Mr. Landlord, I could do an open house here. Most people that come through the open house, they think you're selling it. So then you're like, oh no, I'm actually servicing my seller, my landlord. This is a rental opportunity. And then boom, you have a tenant, you have a potential buyer there. I like that. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Guys, what are we going to commit to for this week?
Yep. You
What are
just
we
were given a beautiful list of things. Grab one of those and commit it to your career.
Anybody want to say it
Expired.
out loud?
Expireds.
Expireds. Thank you, Scott. Take one
I'm
lane and
gonna
dive into
do-
it.
I'm gonna do a listing presentation for my friend who wants to sell her house by herself.
Oh, that's great. At least you're going into it knowing that, so you probably will get the listing. She'll probably go, you sound so damn good. Why am I not listing with you? And then just do the takeaway. Go, no, you don't want to list with me. You want to sell it yourself, right? You want to spend 15-hour days like Michelle, right? All day long.
Yeah, and never know how much money you've left on the table because you
Yeah.
didn't create an auction.
Yeah.
Which FSBOs can't create the auction.
Great job, Kara. What else? I need at least 3 more commitments. Scott's doing expireds. Kara's doing listing presentation. This is where we say it out loud.
I'm setting up a, what is it? It's a DTD2 on on command.
Fantastic. I love that. The DTD2 is how John is going to attack his database. 2 letters every week. Okay, 2 more commitments for the week.
Taking the lead from Stella and work on that smart plan.
Love that. Love
Awesome.
that.
Thank you, Stella. Thank you, Roddy, being a student. Thank you, Stella, for
Call
sharing.
the referrals.
What referrals, Parul?
I'm in DC right now, so I'm gonna just like pop into that KW office in Alexandria right here. So I might just say hi to them and do that. And then a lot of people reached out to me at the family reunion. I haven't had a chance to contact them back yet. So I'm gonna maybe just write a nice love letter to everyone. I don't know. So maybe
That's
reach
good.
out to them.
That love letter we approve, okay?
Yeah.
Parul, that's a great idea. And I would just encourage you, anytime you're in an area, guys, if you go to Mexico, you'll find, if you go to Mexico in Cancun or Carmen, Playa del Carmen, you will see the Keller Williams office as you drive to your resort.
Cool.
Stop in those, yeah, cool. Stop in the local and say hello and exchange cards and let them know, I'm from Jersey. Everybody knows somebody that is either leaving Jersey or is moving to Jersey or lives in Jersey. I promise you.
Yeah. And check with your accountant to see if you can deduct part of your trip.
That's right. I believe you can. I believe you can. Okay. Anybody else want to just share a commitment for the week?
Follow up with my other buyers to find them a house. So I have other buyer leads. And I just want to keep sending them something till I find them something also.
Okay,
Investors and new homeowners.
Arcady might be able to find it with that big magnifying glass. But see, Michelle, this is where you team up with Scott and you let Scott know what you're looking for. And this is where all of you, if you all have a buyer that you are looking for, you should all be sharing and do it on the WhatsApp chat, do it on your own chats that you have. I'm sure some of you have small groups. Do it on the Facebook. I don't care where you do it. But Scott, wouldn't you like to know what buyer Michelle has sitting in her pocket that when you're calling expired, you could literally be looking for that listing?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Like,
totally.
you will be so more confident talking to those homeowners, knowing that you really do have buyers out there for their property. So you all should be sharing with each other. Hey, I have a buyer that's 450 in Fairlawn. Hey, I have a buyer that's 750 in Englewood. Right? So do
Okay.
more of that so that you'll be matchmakers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Patty, we have anything else?
Just a reminder for tonight, we have the Career Builders at 6 o'clock. Arlene Bianco is hosting with me to go over the necessary paperwork. What are the forms that you need for the different transactions you're going to do? So looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Mary
Guys,
Beth, can you
if-
share that list?
Oh, of course. I didn't want to share it before I got here, but I'm going to share it. Yes.
Okay.
I'll put it on the Facebook. And to Patty's point, some of you have called me in like a frenzy of needing to write an offer or, hey, where would I find this? Or that's what these times are for. That time is like this time, 6 o'clock tonight time.
Yep. It's going to tell you what forms you need. All right. Because people are like, oh my God. But yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
And for
Yeah.
everybody out there that didn't speak up today, we're going to get you next week. Viola, Spencer, Harleen, I hope you're feeling better. Harleen had COVID.
Oh boy.
Rosemary, I see your beautiful smile. Just don't hear your voice. Jessica, Hassan, and Kate. Kate was hardworking. Kate, you did do some work though. Kate went out and she went to her neighbor's house. Even though it's not working out how she wants it right now, she had some good conversation with her neighbor about listing the property. So good job,
Excellent.
Kate.
Excellent.
What's
Okay.
the call at 6 o'clock again? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What's the call at 6 o'clock again?
We're Arlene Bianco is co-hosting with me
Oh,
and
okay.
going over what are the forms you need, like for a listing, what are the forms you need for a sale? And
Okay.
having not listened to her before, I'm not quite sure how deep she'll go, but I'm sure she'll cover everything and you'll be that
And the
much more
link-
comfortable.
Okay, and that link's in the coaching lobby somewhere?
Actually, it should be someplace. I know
Yeah,
we said,
it's on your calendar. It's on your Google
Okay.
calendar.
Yeah.
Right, it's
Yeah.
also on the Market Digest. email.
yep.
All right.
And by the way, it's the same link Monday and Tuesday evenings every week. So if you just save it in your calendar, same link. And 4 o'clock, we have empowerment. You're,
Sorry. We have a female empowerment mastermind at 4 p.m. It's 4 to 5, like on the dot. Ladies, get in there. We're going to get vulnerable. We're going to cry. No, I'm just kidding. But we are going to be empowered. Okay. So 4
Okay.
o'clock, tiny URL / female empowerment MM. It's all over.
that should be on the calendar also, is it not?
I don't know if I put it on the calendar, but thank you for reminding me.
It is.
Okay. I'll make sure the link is there. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of the day. It's beautiful. Go get some fresh air.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mary Beth. Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Make it